You know, here it is Sunday evening, 6 o'clock, and busy week coming up. Lots of activities happening, lots of work happening, and yet trying to figure out how I'm going to be intentional with my kids. I just finished filing the 1023-EZ form. I know that's not exciting, right? But it is the form that helps define Trip with Dad as a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And while I'm excited about that, I'm more excited about the time that I get to spend with my kids. My boys are 22 and 18. And we communicate often, joke around with each other, talk about the fun things, about the fireworks that spilled over the weekend. But yet, we had a ball. And I'm sitting here at the kitchen table, knowing a very busy week is coming up. Knowing that there's going to be times when I don't have any time for anything else. But yet, I still need to make time for them. How do I do that? Let's not make it some extravagant plan to go take him on a long trip somewhere. My son and I just did that, my youngest one, about a month ago. I'm sitting here wishing that trip was tomorrow morning to leave, but it happened a month ago. But I have another son that I'll be taking fishing sometime this summer. We'll figure it out. And then I'm counseling at Bible camp here in a couple weeks, or actually a week from tomorrow, for senior high week. So I'll have 8 or 9 teenage guys in my cabin. And I probably need that going into the type of season coming into I'm selling my business. I'm still going to work in it. I'm just not going to be the owner anymore. I'm going to release some tension and some responsibility in that. I'm also looking forward to getting some more bandwidth for things. And I know that some of you guys are used to polished videos and edited videos, so the lighting's just right, and the facial expressions are just right, and you don't have a fan rolling in the background. You don't have a dog sitting next to me making noises with his collar. You won't get that with me. You'll get real, raw, unedited footage of me explaining what's going on in my life. And hopefully it can be an encouragement to you in yours. Whether you're a busy dad. Maybe you're a man that can't wait to be a dad. Or maybe you're a dad that feels like it's just been too late. That there's not any more time with your kids. I'm here to tell you, Dad, that's untrue. I know there's hurts. I know there's failures in the past. Things that have bothered you for years. Things that have, they've made, see that fly there? Things that have made distance happen in your life with them. And those things are what I'm here for you for. But I'm here for you more so to be able to reach out to your kids and say, you know what, I haven't been there. Sometimes one of the biggest things that we can do as dads, especially in areas of life that we've done wrong, we've wronged our kids, is we can own up to them. It sucks. It's not fun. It's a part of life none of us ever looked forward to. It's also a part of life that none of us ever thought would happen. But it did. I think back to my son Aiden He's 22 years old now, so it would have been 8 years ago, 9 years ago. Which is ironic because that's around the same time we started taking him on fishing trips. I had an anger problem. I didn't have just an anger problem, I had a rage problem. I had a point where I would get so upset and so angry that the adrenaline would hit me. And I would almost go into a blind rage, which means I would blank. There's things that have happened, and I don't know what happened. I just know the aftermath of seeing what happened. My son Aiden, when he turned 14, he didn't want to get his homework done, and I didn't realize where that came from. It came from a part of my dad that would get upset for me when I wouldn't do my homework when I was 14 years old. And I added the physical side of that to my son, in the point of being angry and rage and grabbing him, pushing him, doing things that a dad should never do. I went to a place called Edge Venture, where I learned that a man can still be broken and still serve the Lord. And I also learned about my anger. I also learned about where it came from, the root cause of it. And I came back and I apologized to my son. Was that the last time that ever happened? No, there was a couple years. It took a couple years to get through a lot of that anger and the rage. And, I can tell you right now, if my son Aiden was right behind me right now, he'd have his hand on my shoulder. He'd have his head right here. He'd be looking at you guys. He'd go, yeah, he's not that anymore. My son Aiden and I have an awesome relationship. Matter of fact, I cannot wait to take him fishing later this year. And be able to, he lives out in upstate New York. He's, 1,700 miles away? 1,200, whatever it is. But we're like best friends now. Mother and son, like best friends. Things happened, Dad. Things happened where you're not too late. Things happen where I'm not too late. It was at that point that I realized, you know what, I could take my kids on fishing trips. And I took them on our very first fishing trip up to northern Minnesota. We didn't catch a whole lot of fish. Man, did we have fun up there. Went to walking across the Mississippi River on one of the trips. Which you can do that, by the way. That's Itasca State Park, by the way. I need to do a video on that someday so I can tell you what to do. I mean, it's so neat because you can walk right down the Mississippi River, and it's only about, 20 yards long or wide. You can walk right across it where it first starts, where it flows out of Lake Itasca. There's a pretty cool place up there for it. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. The excitement hits me because I did the work. I realized it was not too late. And Dad, you're not too late either. Maybe you're a son that's watching this right now, and you have a dad that things like that happen with. I'm going to encourage you to seek forgiveness for him, and then seek forgiveness from him. Because we can harbor bitterness. Bitterness will wreck us. Bitterness keeps relationships from happening. And if you're that son or that daughter that has a dad where bitterness has entered the picture, sometimes just go and have coffee. Sometimes just send a text, hey Dad, I love you. Just a little bit will spark enough. If my dad was still around, my goodness, just think of the fishing trips we would have been taking by now. It's amazing. Some days I go fishing in my boat by myself. and I talked to my dad. I imagine what he would say back, but I don't get the opportunity anymore. But I'm okay with that, because what he did for me, I now do for my kids. I love them, I respect them, and I am proud of him. I'm Trapper, tripwithdad.com, where every trip becomes a story you will tell for years.